Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's a great night tonight. We have Ernest Horn Elementary School for the first time on our show. And we have the principal of the school, Kristen Cannon, and three remarkable teachers of the school. Eliza Proctor is on the right side here, followed by Glenda Wright and Indiana Smock. I'm so happy that you're here tonight.
Thank you. We're very excited.
The school has a very special place in my heart, and I have to say that I'm a little bit biased because I have a little kid who has been raised in this school.
Thank you very much.
Even though we moved and we changed our place, we did every possible thing to keep Nina, our daughter, going to your school.
Thank you.
So there is a special affection, but I'll try to be as impartial as I can, as neutral as I can. So forgive me if you see me a little bit, tilted, or not very kind of neutral.
Thank you.
Kristen, you will help me introduce your team and their activities and highlight of the
Absolutely.
Good things that are happening in the school. But before we start this, I have to tell you that there are a lot of questions that I have from the community, especially about the demographic changes that has been happening in the district throughout the last year. And they were fast and quick. And I really imagine myself as an old-timer educator. I don't envy you at all when it comes to how we are going to face this. I would like you to describe to me exactly how, as a leader of the school, were you able to deal with the sudden changes that's happening or was happening at the district, redistricting, demographic changes, closure of Roosevelt School, having new kids coming to your school. That all coincided with the construction and the new development. That was a tough time, wasn't it?
It was. First of all, I want to thank you for having us on the show. We feel very honored to be here to talk about Horn. We've been going through probably a 3-year-long process with the closure of Roosevelt and the building of a new addition onto Horn to anticipate about 100 students moving over from Roosevelt next year to Horn Elementary. And with that has come some changes in demographics and population. At Horn, we truly try to strive and recognize diversity in our school and to welcome new students to our school. So we want to make this transition from students who are going to be leaving Roosevelt to Horn as smooth as possible. Through this, we have been working collaboratively as principals of Roosevelt, Horn, and Weber, all the schools that will be affected in the redistricting change, as well as we are looking forward to future activities that help the students get acclimated to their new schools, to be introduced, make friends, and get a chance for the teachers to work together to really get to know the students that are going to be moving and to provide insight on what's the best way to communicate with families, the best way to make students feel welcome, and how we can make this transition as seamless as possible.
Well, that's great to hear. And with this comes, again, another question. I could feel that you still have a very smooth transition. And you and I, in our production meeting, talked a little bit about the transition, how you are preparing for next year. Do you expect this very smooth transition to continue, or you have another plan? Or
we hope for this smooth transition to continue. We feel the best way is to make it as open and welcoming for new students coming, and for there to be as much communication between Roosevelt staff and with Horn staff, so that we really get to know what practices work best at that building for those students, and tie those in with practices that work best at our school. But obviously we know that this is going to be a new mixture. We're going to be taking two populations of students and combining them together. So there's going to be a lot of new practices for everyone involved. but that's what we want, because we want this to be a new building, and we want this to be representative of everybody, and for it to feel like these changes are occurring because we're all coming together, not because one group of students is coming to Horn, but that we're working together.
And I could feel that you are extremely supportive of the idea of neighborhood schools.
Absolutely.
And you did talk to me a lot about that. Do you think that this will continue despite the fact that Roosevelt is gone?
I do. I'm hoping that we can make Horn their neighborhood school, and I feel that them being close proximity, bringing the families into Horn, getting them involved in Horn, and making them realize that this is now their school, and all of these students are part of our population, and that we all work together. We celebrate diversity. We work together as a team to meet our expectations and values, and to learn and to make education a fun and successful place for all children.
Perfect. Are you expecting about 100, 120 students next year?
Yes.
This will come at the expense of class size?
Hopefully not. We do have room to grow at Horn. We built on a 6-classroom addition, and it was completed in the spring last year of 2011. We have several empty open classrooms in anticipation of the students moving over, so we are hoping that class sizes are going to be able to remain at the appropriate level for all students.
I will let you now take this part of our show and introduce your stars here.
Absolutely.
With success programs and success stories.
Absolutely. We feel very fortunate at Horn. We have wonderful things occurring at Horn and happening at Horn, and I have brought some of our classroom teachers to celebrate and to share some of those wonderful things that are occurring at Horn. And I'd like to turn it over first to our 1st and 2nd grade teachers, Glenda Argenbright and Deanna Smock, who have been doing a wonderful community outreach program that has been going on at Horn for many, many years, and it is their senior pals, and they will explain that a little bit more.
Okay, thank you. A very fun program that we have at Horn is called our Senior Citizen Pen Pal Project. And we started this more than 10 years ago. I can't remember exactly how many, but it's been very successful. And so many, and in this program, each one of our students in our classroom have a senior pen pal. And we make a very close relationship with them throughout the year. And it became so popular that so many seniors wanted to be a part of our program that I recruited my teammate, Deanna, to also have the Pen Pal Project in her classroom. So now we both do it at Horn, and it's been very successful for all these years.
And so there's 20 pen pals in her room and 20 senior pen pals in my room, so we have to get these from somewhere. And Joan Cook at RSVP, retired senior volunteer program, she every year coordinates a list of pen pals for us, and she's absolutely wonderful. If we get a student in the middle of the school year, we send her an email, and she, within days, has got another senior that is ready and willing to be a part of this program. So Joan Cook is a huge part of what makes our program successful.
As a matter of fact, my daughter has quite an unforgettable memory about this program. And she had Wilma, her friend, and they were like exchanging cards. I mean, I think she grew a lot. I mean, developmentally speaking, mentally and emotionally, by having this pal with her and writing to her. It was just an amazing program. And thank you for, that's your baby, I know.
It is. We write to them at least once a month. They write back to us. We learn a lot from them. And we also invite them into our school so they can see what school is like today. So I think it helps both the seniors learn about us, and we certainly learn about them.
It is a wonderful experience to see occurring. I mean, the kids are so excited for their pen pals to show up, and they're preparing for a couple days and weeks in advance for their pen pals to come. And the pen pals, it's just this neat bond that you see form between the community members and the students at Horn, and it's
Quite
really wonderful.
rejuvenating for people
Yeah.
who are getting older and feel that they are on the margin of the society, and then you bring them
Exactly.
suddenly to this fresh, enthusiastic environment, and they share with the young kids, you know, their ideas and thoughts and dreams and aspirations and so
Exactly.
forth.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I
It
have
is
a
wonderful.
pen pal who corresponded with a student of mine for 2 years, and then the student moved to Canada. And when the pen pal came to visit her new pen pal that was in my classroom, her new student in my room, she said, "Oh, I was just corresponding with, you know, the student that had moved to Canada." So even though they corresponded for 2 years in the classroom, and then she moved out of the country, and they still correspond with each other. So it's just amazing the bond that it creates and what they really learn from each other, and they become like grandparents for, you know, these little first and second graders, and
It
it's
is
really fun
wonderful.
to see that develop.
Now, Eliza,
Yes, this is Eliza Proctor. She is our kindergarten teacher as well as our student council representative and our PBIS coordinator. So I brought her along to share a little bit about our positive behavior intervention support program that's going on at Horn. This is something that's also going on throughout the entire district. Many of the buildings are at different years in which they have been involved in this program, and she's going to share a little bit about what we are doing at Horn and how this really helps with the whole redistricting and the transition next year that's going to be coming, and to make that smooth and share what we're doing to celebrate this.
Yeah. At Horn, being a PBIS school, Kristen mentioned, was positive behavior intervention supports. The whole basis of the program is to really teach students positive behavior, what we want their behavior to look like. As teachers, we all are responsible for educating children, teaching them new things, how to read, how to write, but we never really think about teaching them exactly how to behave. We think it's something that they should just kind of come into school and know. But we've learned that, you know, they don't know exactly how they need to, you know, sit or how they need to, you know, be respectful of other people, since they've grown up in, you know, different homes and different situations, went to different preschools. So at Horn, we're doing positive behavior. And so what we do is we explicitly teach them the expectations in which we want them to behave at school. So we'll do, you know, teaching them social skills. Each class in the school teaches the same social skill in the week. So everyone is teaching about listening this week. So we talk about how do we listen to friends, how do we listen to adults. And at Horn, you come up with different expectations, and ours are to be respectful, responsible, and caring.
and I think, Eliza, that you brought a video to share with our audience, right?
On the dance marathon.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we are going to be watching this video right now, so that we
Perfect.
just shed some light upon your activities and
Okay.
what you're doing.
At Horn, every year we do a dance marathon, which is in conjunction with the University of Iowa Dance Marathon. But this year, it's going to change a little bit, as we have a kindergartner in my class at Horn that was recently diagnosed with acute lymphoblastic leukemia. And so this year we decided as a school that we needed to be support to that child and her family, and instead of fundraising for the University of Iowa Dance Marathon, we're going to be fundraising for that family. So this Thursday, the student council voted on having a hoedown. So we will be dressing in our Western gear as cowboys and cowgirls, and from 5:30 to 7:30 on Thursday night, we'll be having a hoedown to celebrate, you know, our community, and to come together and to really celebrate everything that we can for this little girl, and to raise some money to help with financial costs of being in the hospital and fighting cancer. So
It's a teaching moment
Yes.
for the students, you know,
It
to
is.
realize that any activity can be towards a noble cause,
Yep.
a very high level sensation about society, about other people.
mhm.
And
And
that's really wonderful.
And this really ties into our PBIS, respectful, responsible, and caring, and showing how we care for the families at Horn, how we care about each other. Our students made, I don't know how many hundreds of paper cranes for this child. This was something that her father wanted to decorate her room with paper cranes to give her something positive when she came home from the hospital. And kindergarten through 6th grade worked together and made just hundreds of paper cranes for this child. And it just, to me, it is makes me feel so proud to be such a part of a wonderful, caring community.
As we watch the wonderful pictures here, we can continue our conversation now about what are you looking forward in the near future for Horn School?
In the near future, I'm looking forward to the whole Roosevelt, Horn, Weber situation to come together. We've been preparing and preparing for so long. It'll be so neat to see this all come together at the end. And I'm really looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to getting the students from Roosevelt to come over and visit Horn and to meet the teachers that they're going to have next year, for the parents to come over and to start to feel a part of the Horn community right now. Even before the school year has ended. So we are really looking forward to this whole transition. We've been working very hard. The staff has been working very hard for the last 3 years to make this smooth, down to the design of the classrooms and the new addition to making sure that the curriculum for the students is right and that there will be no gaps in the learning, and into making them feel welcome, and that to build that Horn community and family.
And Diana, I know that you joined the family of Horn recently, right? I mean, how do you feel about this beautiful atmosphere that we know about Horn team?
So this is my 5th year at Horn, and prior to becoming a full-time staff member of the team, when I subbed in the district, I primarily subbed at Horn, and I feel like I've been a part of the Horn family longer than 5 years. I always felt so welcome when I walked into the building, and that's how they welcome me, a substitute teacher. I feel very fortunate to be a part of a community where every person, every learner, adult is welcomed into the building, and I'm looking forward to, like Kristen said, watching this come together, and I completely see it to be a positive environment for everyone. It'll really work out, and hopefully it goes as seamlessly as planned.
One of the very positive things that I see at Horn School, and I see it in my daughter development, is your emphasis on arts and on the music and the art too.
Absolutely.
I know that you and the whole community was shocked last year by the loss of the great art teacher, Candace Carmichael.
Yeah.
And I was very glad to see her successor going and doing Mr. Peterson, doing the same interest and emphasis on arts as she did, you know.
Yeah.
So that was one of the things that I would like very much to talk about when it comes to successful elementary education. Mrs. Argenbright, I want to ask you a question. You are an experienced elementary school teacher, and I have about, let's say, 7 minutes, 10 minutes. I would like to know from you, I was listening to Jason Glass, our education secretary in the state. We had things we agreed upon. We had our differences too. But one of the things that he emphasized in his talk is how difficult it is to prepare teachers for teaching. And it's not an easy task, especially when it comes to elementary school teacher. And I would like to know from you, for our audience who are young people aspiring to be teachers, what it takes to be a good elementary school teacher.
Well, I love being a teacher. And so for me, I think, first of all, you know early, I think, a lot in your life. If you enjoy working with young children, this would be a great profession for you. I think they continue to prepare teachers better and better all the time. I think an important part of a good teaching program to get you ready has been having the young people come out in the classroom. So we often all have practicums or student teachers that work with us, and I think that's a great experience and helps young people get ready for the profession, because you're right, it's a lot of work and it takes a lot of time, and I think we are very lucky to have so many young people still that are preparing to be teachers, and we certainly hope that they will continue to do so.
One of the most impressive things that I would like to share with you and your team is the fact that I was listening to the program about education in the world, and it's clear that South Korea is #1 now in the world as far as the standard of education, and together with Finland. And one of the most important parts, there are two extremes. South Korea focuses on standardized tests, one test after another. Finland, they have too much respect for elementary school teachers. It is the profession #1 before engineers, doctors, any other profession. It's the most difficult program to go into. The university is elementary teaching, elementary school teaching. And this can give you some idea that somehow we have to give this respect to this role, because that's how you build up the new generation and hopes for the future. And we give more interest into this area of education. And I was surprised. I didn't realize that it's #1 profession there.
Yeah.
And the highest paid as well. If I ask you, Eliza, I have seen you doing a lot of community cooperation with parents, with parties. I mean, you are really kind of generator of all. I saw the dance marathon and before over the years, and I know that you got married recently. So let us get a little bit personal now. Now you are married to a colleague who is a wonderful teacher, as a proctor. And how does it work, married to a person from the same profession?
Well, he doesn't know any different. It's a kind of a funny story how we ended up at the same building. We had met in college in the education program, and then Mrs. Cannon was teaching, and he was substituted for her for a few times. But it works out well. We see each other at lunch, and other than that, we don't see each other until the school day's over. But it's great because sometimes I'll have a student in kindergarten, then he'll have that student again in 3rd and 4th grade, and I can kind of keep tabs on him and see how it goes. But it works pretty well. If you ask him, he may have a different answer, but I think it works well. We enjoy working together.
Well, Mrs. Argan-Bright, your husband is a star of our administration. Jerry Argan-Bright, and he just won the 2nd place in Person of the Year for the Press Citizen, and that was quite an honor for his achievements over the years. And do you share stories at kitchen table sometime during the evening? Or?
We do. He loves to hear stories about the elementary students, for one thing. He likes to hear what some of their comments are, and we have a good time. And yeah, we talk a lot about the schools. Schools are important to us and our family. So. And I must say, I had Nina in my class, and I enjoyed having her very much. We're a wonderful family.
Yeah, she never forgets her experience with you, never.
She's awesome.
As a matter of fact, at the conclusion of this program, I can tell you how pleased I am, and I'm sure our audience are. This has been quite a remarkable meeting, and I would like you to keep your progress. You are a very important school in this district.
Thank you.
I think Ernest Horn has something to do with language arts.
Spelling.
Spelling mainly, and he had a lot of publications in this area.
Integral in the creation of spelling programs.
And that's why you
spelling
have
curriculum.
one of the biggest, probably, libraries in the district, right?
I don't know if it's that big, but yeah,
Yeah.
it is nice.
Is there any final thought or something you would like to tell the audience about?
I would love to just welcome the audience to come to Horn Elementary, to visit our building, to come be a part of our community. We really strive to get as much community involvement as we can, and we welcome anyone to come and to learn about Horn and to see all the wonderful things that are happening.
Thank you very, very much.
Thank you so much.
Young ladies and gentlemen, in your school should be so proud to have teachers like you and a leader like you. So inspiring, so motivating.
Thank you
very
so much. Well, we sure enjoy having parents like yours.
And,
makes our job a lot easier.
For our audience, this program will be aired on Channel 21, the education channel. And you can watch the listing on Channel 18, which is our public access TV, as well as Blip TV, B-L-I-P TV, on your computer, and now on YouTube.
Oh,
And
great.
I think you said something about going viral. I am sure that Horn School is going to go viral. Now, this is my biased part. On behalf of John Kerhoff, Michael Peterson, and Doug, our cameraman, I thank you very much on behalf of all the community members that are watching us tonight.
Thank you. It's been a
Thank you.
pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you.